Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to episode 11 of the Starfall Collective, a Jade Odyssey. I, of course, am your Dungeon Master. Thrilled that you are joining us as I get to play some live, actual D&D with my friends. That's right, folks. There's no script. It's all off the dome. I am joined tonight, as usual, by my good buddy Matt. Matt, would you tell us your spiel and the name of your character, who you're playing?
I'm ready to deliver my spiel. My name is Matthew Talamini. I am a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, Talamini.com. I play Crocular, who is a real weirdo, like all my characters, and a warlock.
LT, would you like to tell us your name, any in the middle, and who your character is, and just a little something about him?
Hi, I'm LT. I'm playing as Jim Varden, a human sorcerer who is having a bit of an addiction problem, but he does like his shooty bang bang gun, so that's helping out.
Excellent. Jacob.
Hey, I am Jacob Burbridge, and I'm playing Poen, the tiefling monk who has recently lost a dear friend Ratkin to a medical emergency. Or hopefully he hasn't died yet, but we'll see.
Indeed, he seemed to be stable when he was staying by his kin. And Dwight.
Hi, I'm a person, and I'm playing Inion Tumley, an archer.
Yes, we shall not seek to know thy identity. Well, when last we were together, the dancing narwhal saw a scene on the horizon of... They saw two ships that seemed to be locked, prow to prow, bow to bow, whatever, front to front. And they were kind of slowly drifting in a circle, slowly losing a bit of altitude. The dancing narwhal, seeing that one of these two ships was an elven warship, someone with a spyglass, namely the captain, has shouted out that it's the Yamaguchi, and he has given orders to provide support to the because he said if we don't, basically we'll be in a lot of trouble. Apparently abandoning a elven warship in distress the scene is a serious crime on the So currently the dancing narwhal is gaining some altitude, which is exciting for Pone because he has a fancy new bat gliding cape that allows him to bodily hurl himself from high vantages, and for every 100 feet that he only lose about 10 feet of altitude. So he's got designs on trying to do a ship-to-ship or something like that. And we will get to that moment soon. But right now, I believe when last we met, we were to roll for initiative. So here at the top of the order, let's all roll those dice and see who gets to go win.
$11.
So
I rolled a 9 total.
Okay.
I also rolled an 11.
You have a higher dex, you think?
15 for me.
I have a dex modifier of +3.
I have a dex modifier of +4.
Ah, so good. Okay, and 11 for Crocular. Alrighty, very good. And Jim was a 15 up there.
Yep.
Okay. Ivan. Jared's character's name is Ivan, correct?
Yep.
Ivan. Yes. Very good. I'm going to put Ivan down here on the order just to keep sure that we acknowledge his presence in the fight here. So, Jim, you see that are pretty far out. I believe, Jim, you had the opportunity to fire at a bugbear and a couple of other the pirate crew beside him, and they have all disappeared into your cannon, into your spyglass. Enion, I believe, taken some shots and managed to skewer a few. At this point, we are in bow range. I'd say that you guys are closing in on about 120 feet. So we are now getting things like long distance spells work, but keep in mind it does work both ways. So very good. Excellent. Jim, you are first up. This is a remarkable initiative round. So, Jim, you are on the
ship. Offer some kind of cover.
There are parts of the ship that I'll say
nearby.
Yes, you could wedge your, especially because the ship is higher in elevation. The Dancing Narwhal is higher in elevation than the Yamaguchi and the Red Tarak. Sorry, is the name of the pirate ship. You can see that it's got a big red dire Tarok with flames coming off of it, painted on the side. Very,
nice.
You know, you might, it's 50-50 whether it's intimidating or silly, but they certainly intended it to be a and aggressive symbol. So yeah, so Jim, you are you do have a little bit of cover from the side of the ship. Now, if you want to, but if you pull back, yes, you will have some amount of cover.
I'd be looking for a spot where I can kind of completely conceal myself, like get total cover, and then but also pop up and shoot or cast a spell as needed.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So you can withdraw. You can use your movement at the end of the turn to withdraw from the. And if you withdraw before the end of your turn, then you will be
back far enough from the edge. Okay.
Line of sight. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Go for it.
So what do I have going on down there? I'm looking. Let's see.
Yeah. So you're looking down at. See that the deck of the Red Tarek. I don't know if I need to pick a pronunciation. Just call it the Red and the Yamaguchi. You see that on the deck of the Red, pirates are still kind of pouring out. Apparently, this is a very crew-heavy ship, whereas the Yamaguchi looks like it might have fewer people in the crew than the. Now, the crew of the Yamaguchi is currently actively fending off gangplanks that are attempting to be dropped so that more of the crew can. You see that up in the high rigging, there are some folks wearing what look like kind of dark purple, almost black, like ninja outfits. And you see that they have ropes and they're about to try to throw the backside of the ship and swing with that rope and get enough momentum to kind of come up around and get flung up onto the so there's stuff going on up in the rigging and deck.
Okay.
So you have the option to try
I'm
to
looking
interfere in any way.
For something flammable, especially especially like if there's bundles of rope that those guys are coming off of. Something I can hit with the firebolt that I can set on fire.
Yeah, so the Red Tarok has some what look flax or cotton sails. Sails of the ship are going to be particularly flammable.
Sails it is.
Okay.
I'm going to try to cast the sails on fire. Cast firebolt to catch the sails on fire.
Fair.
And
it says in firebolt that it will catch things on fire.
A flammable object hit by this spell ignites if it isn't being worn or carried.
Excellent. Very good. All right, roll to hit.
Okay, so that is a ranged spell attack. Okay, ranged spell attack. Where's that listed? Oh, right here. I can just hit this button. Oh, well, 15.
Very good. That hits. So you see that
Nice.
a corner of the sails, in fact, does erupt in flames. You step back from the edge, I take it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
And
and
then
as soon as you
withdraw.
do, arrow flying
Yoink!
past your head where you were, and you hear a thunk, 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 thunk onto the side of the dancing narwhal, very close to where you peeled back. And you do hear a cut and the arcane crackle of energy as the hull of the dancing narwhal is scorched and black. Down below, you see that some of the pirates managed to land planks, and you see a large burly man with a big kind of what looks like a big wooden wedge object that looks a little bit like a cross between a shield and a battering ram, and you see him running forward, and you see him lock in elven sailors who are kind of pushing back and forth, and it looks like they're in gridlock, but the elven warriors are on the Yamaguchi pushed back as fighters from the red across the gangplank. Ivan, welcome. You are just in time. We haven't even gotten to you in the turn order of the combat, so congratulations.
Okay, great. Sorry I'm late.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Enion, you see the scene before you, and it is your turn.
I would like to shoot at people and add fire type damage to it.
Okay. Are you shooting at the are trying to jump with ropes from the top of the rigging, or are you firing at the pirates on the deck of the ship? Go across the gangplanks to get over to the Yamaguchi.
Well, how about both? Ha I will use my second wind. No, that gives me health. What's it called? There, action surge. There we go.
Okay.
I will shoot one arrow at each.
Okay. So you're going to fire at one of the ninjas. Give me the attack roll on that first.
How's a 26 to hit?
You know, almost. Real close.
Whoa.
Of course that hits,
Sorry, buddy.
And tell me, what are you doing to this shot? Are special properties of your bow to make this shot?
Yeah, I'm turning on the fire damage.
Very good. All right, so you're going to add an extra D4 of bow itself.
Yeah, and hey, why not? I'll throw a superiority dice in there too to do. Where's the? Not commander.
Do a tripping shot
one.
on the whole ship.
Where's the? There we go.
Trip a ship out of the sky.
I'll do a disarming attack on the ninja. So here, let me roll that. D8 and a D4. Nice. Okay, nice. Max. So I plus 12 damage, and the ninja needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 14. Or it is disarmed.
Very good.
If it's even alive anymore.
You said it was DC 14?
Yeah.
And what type of save was that?
Strength.
Strength. Let me check here because it is very...
It also gets 22 damage, so if that kills it, it doesn't need to make a check.
That does not... Right.
That's a tough arrow.
Very okay. So you see that It just barely holds on to the blade. You see that it goes flying out in his hand, and you even see the blade maybe like pop out of his hand, but then he reaches out and snatches it and manages to hold on to it, but just barely. And you were going to crowd as well. Did you want to fire at that anybody in particular?
Yeah, somebody who looks strong because I rolled a natural 20.
Okay. I'll say
captain. Do I see the captain? You and the captain.
Make me a perception check. See if you can notice him and get a clear shot on him as he's weaving in and out of the rest of his men.
An unnatural 20.
That hit. Yes. So of Inion's arrows, he fires up, slightly down at one of the ninjas, and then immediately quickly pivots slightly and captain, and you see an arrow stab down into the captain's and a number of his men kind of grab him and pull him down and cover him with their bodies, and you see some of his men next to him, short bows and crossbows, looking for their captain's attacker to try to fire back. Crocular, it is your turn.
Do you need any damage on that, or?
Tell me the damage. Sorry.
Oh wow! For some reason, D&D Beyond has given me the max, so that was 16 to the captain, and I believe 22.
I got the I got
ninja.
the damage to that first guy.
And they're both on fire.
Oh gosh. Okay. On fire.
That's intense.
Making a note. Very intense. All right, Crocular.
So tell me, DM, the events that you just described, where my friend shot at the captain, and a bunch of the captain's employees jumped onto him, forming a pile. How close would that be to me?
Yeah,
Is that within 150 feet of me?
It is within 150 feet, yes.
So what's going to happen is that they all get to make a DC 14 Dex save.
Okay. Let's just roll a dirty big pile of D20s for that then.
How many of them are on fire?
Let me just get 8 D6s here.
86.
Good old.
Tell you right now.
Q.
What was the DC?
14. DC 14 Dex save.
So 3 of these captain and 3 of the men around the captain fail.
Okay.
What about the captain?
What's the radius on this? Is this like a?
This is a 20-foot sphere.
A 20-foot sphere? Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I need to roll a lot more
Radius or
dice.
diameter?
Radius or diameter?
I should know this. There is a standard. When it says 20-foot sphere in Dungeons and Dragons, it means always either radius or diameter. But 20-foot radius. 20-foot radius.
So
Okay.
big.
Hold up.
40-foot diameter.
Hold
40-foot
up.
diameter.
Wait a second.
40-foot
Okay.
diameter,
Range.
20-foot radius.
1, 2,
150
3,
feet range.
4, 5, 6. So there are 6 pyres that you successfully target with this spell. What's happening to these folks?
Nice. The ones that can make this DC 14 Dex save are going to take half damage, and I'll roll what the full damage is now.
Okay.
Let's see.
I love it when you pass the saving throw and your reward is just half damage instead of nothing.
So it's going to be 23 points of damage to anybody who failed.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second.
and then I suppose 12 points to anybody who passed.
Okay.
My to hit on the captain was a 20, so I get to roll double damage.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sure. Just roll the extra damage and tell me what that is, and I'll add that on.
Is double? Is it so? My damage is 1d8 plus 4. Is it just another 1d8, or
It's
is it
another 1d8.
It's another 1d8. Your doubles.
Yeah, sorry. My weapon damage is 1d8 plus 4, and then also
it's
there's
the
a plus
dice.
4.
Yeah,
You just
it's the
roll
weapon
two
damage, and you
dice.
just roll the die again.
Yeah, you roll
Right.
the die.
My
total.
weapon damage.
Is
I'm not talking about the special. No, it is not 1d8. It is 1d8 plus 4.
Right,
Plus-
4.
No, there is also a plus 4 in
Oh.
addition to that Josh gave me because it's a special. A longbow is 1d8 plus 4 damage.
Sweet.
Just a regular longbow.
Yep.
So
Okay.
So what you do when you get a 20 is
Uh-huh.
that's a critical hit. And what a critical hit means is whatever the damage dice are, not the stuff that gets added on, but the dice that you roll for the core damage.
Gotcha.
You roll those dice twice.
Gotcha.
So in
Okay.
your
Roll
case,
a
it's a
D8.
1d8.
Yeah. And tell me what
Gotcha.
that is.
Plus 7.
Plus 7.
Sorry.
Yikes. Okay. Ouch. They threw themselves on top of this guy. It stabs down, and
so-
you see a huge spurt of blood.
So you see, and Crocular is going to, stand up, pull out his new janky discount wand of spell storing, and he's going to point it down at this pirate ship. And he's going to set off the fireball, and then the camera will see him like drop the wand onto the deck and like shake his hand because it's got so hot. Oh, ow, that's a spicy meatball. And then of course
Okay.
he'll pick up the wand because that's just color. He didn't actually.
Sure.
drop it.
Sure. That's fine. Okay. So we see an enormous flagration just dead right there in the middle of the pirate ship deck. And when you see, it's hard to count, but it's clearly more than a half dozen bodies strewn out on the deck of the ship, and a number more are all like, half of their body, their clothes are burnt, and they're just smoking, and they're crying out in pain. This has significantly disrupted and the flow of the fight for the pirates. You see that some of the guys on the edge of the ship fireball throw themselves off, and you see a couple of guys go falling down. One of them lands in the canopy of the trees. One of them seems to have some sort of little, not quite a full-on parachute, but it's helping him slow himself just a little bit. Chaos on the ship. Poen.
It's a semi.
Hang on.
I'm sorry. Quick
Anything else in
correction.
your turn? Yeah.
Very quick correction. It's not a wand. It's a ring of spell storing. So you see actually Crocular like starts shaking his hand, and then he takes this ring off and like sticks it in his pouch and is like grabbing his hand. And also we're still pretty far away from them, right? It's all ranged attacks right now.
You're about 100
So Crocular's
over and up. You guys are going down
great.
at him.
So Crocular's going to find some cover, like a wall of a cabin or the rail at the side of the ship or whatever, and he's going to get behind it and he's going to go prone.
Okay, very good.
Because
Crocular
you're at
pulls
disadvantage to hit people who are prone with a ranged attack.
This is true. You actually have full cover once you've pulled back from the edge of the deck. Very good. Poen, it is your turn.
All right. Can I jump off? Are the boats in a position that I could glide over to them?
Yes, you actually can jump off the ship.
Then I
and at this
absolutely
point,
shall.
yeah, you'll actually have to close.
Take over the ship and drive it back. Drive it away.
Close your wings and drop if you want to get there quickly. Right now, it might take you kind of dive down. I'll let you make an acrobatics check for it. We haven't really established this, but I think
I actually
the
have.
level that you can fly is at a 10% downgrade. But I'll say that if you make you can do more crazier stuff. So
if I can just glide so that I'm like over the ships or
Sure.
somewhere over the ships, I actually have a monk ability that allows me to just cancel a ton of fall damage. So I can just thunk down.
As a monk, you can do that.
Orbital drop style.
Okay.
Now,
are you willing to drop down the red the Yamaguchi?
Which one has the most? I think I'm gonna drop onto the red Turok. That was the one that got fireballed, right?
Yes.
Yep. I will drop down onto the red Turok.
Go ahead. Make me an acrobatics check to try to. Oh, that's right. You're going to use your monk ability to do that final drop. Okay.
Yep.
In that case, you fling yourself out. I'll let you narrate it. Go for it.
Yeah, I just jump off of the side, open my wings, and go down Batman style, gliding until I'm right about over the ship, and then I'm going to close my wings and sort of fall down and sort of make like a thunk right on the center of the ship. And I'm going to just try and punch the closest person near me, or at least about 7 punches, hopefully.
You guys, as Poen is descending, you see this barely visible arcane energy making kind of a wake as he descends, and you hear the deep sound, a large bell with a very, very uneven textured mallet. It's making this kind of clanging and this deep melodious bell chime is coming off of him as he descends, lands on the deck, winds up, and delivers a furious monk blow into the chest cavity. Half scorched sailor, half scorched pirate.
Actually, if I can land near the captain, then that would be great. Landing somewhere near where the captain was to just take him out real quick.
Yeah, I think Crocular landed that firebolt onto the captain and the men. So you see that the captain got scorched by this as well. So
right. If I can,
the captain and
if I can try and punch him while land on the captain and punch him or kick him right in the jaw or something while I'm falling down, that would be awesome. I don't know how that would work, but
you're attacking from above. I'm going to give you advantage on that attack because you did just fly over him like Batman, land on him like a meteor falling from the sky, and he ball. You can have advantage.
Okay. Advantage along with +7 to hit. This is going to be great. 19 and wow. I rolled a 19, but my second roll was a 2, so I'm glad 19. That advantage. Great. And I'm really sure I can take another attack action whenever I take an attack. I can take 2 attacks. Yet? I have not. Okay.
On the first one. So
that was the wrong thing. Yep. Wrong one. Here we are. 8 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to punch the captain again for less damage. Without advantage, probably not.
Actually, you come and you just drop your
into his chest,
and he just crumples under your blow. And the cat has clearly been dispatched. You look up and see that his right-hand man, who was firing at Crocular, you're now in his face. And so if you've got another attack to make, this obviously the guy to do it because you have just slain
personal bodyguard
the pirate captain.
Yep. All right, I will do so. Roll to attack. 9.
Does not hit. So
All right. Well, I can spend a key point to.
You can do something else. Go for it.
I can spend a key point to make 2 more unarmed attacks as a bonus action, which I will against him,
Now,
obviously. Huh?
Your monk slow fall ability take up your bonus action?
It might. No, that's a reaction. You can use your
goodness.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's really good. So key
yeah.
point and bonus action for that. The first roll was a 16, and then the second. Oh wait, I have been using the wrong thing to hit. The first roll, for real this time, is a 19.
Okay.
And another 19. All right. Great.
I did
just get fireballed, so don't roll ones for your damage, and we'll see.
10 total. I rolled a 6 and a 2, 10 total.
Yep, 10 total. Yeah, you drop down, punch this captain in the chest, drop him, reach out to punch this guard, his saber, and saber. You squint your eyes and then just rapid punch him in the face and the chest, and you see him just crumple like a sack of bricks. Poen has just dispatched the captain and his body.
We see that the.
I was gonna say, if you have more stuff you can do, I need your character sheet, my man.
Okay, I only have 16 sub actions left.
That's right.
I will ready an action to kill the rest of the ship next turn.
Use my ability, which lets me personally target every sentient being within 100 feet.
So we see the elven soldier
tremendously
encouraged by this black ball that goes off. One of the scouts shouts out, "Their captain is dead! Press in, men!" And the soldiers were in head-to-head a push battle with the pirates that were trying to come across the gangplank. You see them push back, and they shout and heave as one. I just have to clear out the 72 dice that I was just rolling for the collective save. Just gonna roll. Nice. And oh yes, but only by a little bit. So we see the elven soldiers shout and heave and push, and they manage to scoot the pirates back like a foot or two. They're still in deadlock over the gangplank, but a number of other elves pop up with bows and begin firing at some of the men that are trying to get gangplanks over. Some of them are firing up at the ninjas up in the and we see a couple of them disappear below decks. Ivan, your turn.
So we came in above the pirate ship, which is
a 45-degree angle out and up. Yeah.
Which is tied to or slammed into the Navy ship?
Yeah, they are nose to nose. You see that they crashed into each other, not immediately dead, lightly off to the side, and you see the pirate ship has things that look a little bit like tusks, and they have really jammed and gouged into the front Gucci, so the ships are structurally locked into each other as they're slowly rotating and slowly losing altitude.
Okay. And wow. We all kind of went at the same time, but at this point, are there still living creatures on the deck?
There are the elf soldiers.
Yeah, there are 4. dark purple robed ninjas up in the rigging of the pirate ship, and you see that there are still pirates on the deck of the pirate ship.
All right, well, that's easy. And you said there was that one clump.
Yes,
Like
although
protecting the
that
captain or
clump
something?
is, yeah, that clump is now a mostly blackened circle of death with one pone standing in the middle of it, with about 10 dead.
All right, well, Ivan will jump down onto the highest concentration of pirates, aiming to land on them and transfer his falling damage to them, if he can.
Okay. So,
Or if you prefer, I
you,
can just jump down and attack.
hey man, you could do whatever you want. I'm just letting you know the reason why Poe is able to do that is because he has a monk to negate falling damage. If you throw yourself bodily off of this ship onto the other ship, it similar to the scene from The Other Guys or whatever with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, where The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson just jump off a building. But you know, I don't know how many hit points you have.
How far is it?
Is about 60 feet down. So you would take about 6 damage.
That is very far.
Or
Okay.
66. Is it 1d6 per 10 feet, Matt? Do you remember? 1d6 per 10 feet? Yeah, you would take 6d6 falling damage.
Ivan wonders at how Poen did not die. And
Allowed.
and takes out his axe.
Okay.
He doesn't see how to... Does he see a way to get down there? It seems like I'm just out of range.
You know that you guys have ropes hanging off the side, and you have rescue dive ropes. You could always use one of those, especially.
Oh.
And then you let that momentum carry you over. You know that if you make try to pull that move off.
Okay. That sounds more like not insane. I will do that.
Okay. Make me athletics check. Psst.
19.
19 works. All right. Just a naked 19. So watch Poen do that, kind of turns 180 degrees, goes charging off the other side of the ship, grabbing a rope as he goes, and he jumps out,
muttering,
and as the rope...
While muttering, I'm too old to do that.
And as soon as the rope gets taut, you see him swing up underneath the ship, and he goes flying, and you land on the deck of the ship. I'm going to
Don't
say...
you call me Grandpa for using the stairs, Poen.
With a 19, you've still got a bonus action that you can use here on the deck of the ship if you've got any bonus actions available to you.
Yes. Well, when he lands on the ship and orients himself, he drops the pretense that he is not extremely angry right now.
Okay.
Activating his rage.
Nice. We see
He's
Ivan land
angry
on the deck of the ship, and with a mighty roar, a white flashes from his eyes. We see Ivan's body kind of twist and convulse a little bit as he seems to be in some amount of pain, but we see the vessels in his body all bulge, and you see the literal bulk of his body swell up. He seems to be like more massive, and you see that his body is rippling and surging with this energy, making him more powerful.
And goes like, I didn't even call you Grandpa yet.
My apologies. Give minutes. I will be right back. Just needed. We're going to take a 2-minute micro break. I'll be right back.
2-minute micro break.
That's intense. A 60-foot drop. That's like pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
That's like jumping off a tall tree and landing fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you should just throw arrows down.
Well, you're a high enough
Average of
level monk to
21
eat
damage.
6d6 damage.
Yep.
Well, the average on that's just 21, right? So
21's a lot.
yeah, but he can negate like 20 points of damage.
Wow.
So.
But it's
Nice.
specifically falling damage, so it's super.
Right, it's falling damage only. Yeah.
It's just very convenient that this situation.
Wait, Ivan, did you get down there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Now I need,
Are we
like,
gonna
spider
while
climbing stuff.
while the DM is gone? Are we gonna hijack this ship or what? You want
Yes.
a pirate ship?
Yes, definitely.
Let's make it our ship.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
jammed. It's jammed into the naval ship, and it sounds like the
We'll have to
Navy
get it
is
loose.
not friendly and like, oh, you can have it because you saved us. Thank
They
you.
already hate me, or so I.
Well, we should not attack anybody from the Navy, but also if we can salvage the ship,
It's on all kinds of fire though.
that's true. I did help
good
set it
job,
on
Matt,
fire.
setting it on fire. I just
Well,
set people on fire.
I set like one corner of a sail on fire, and then it's like boom, the whole thing just goes up.
I guess we
All
can
the pirates
sink it.
with no eyebrows.
If it's salvageable, yeah. I mean,
Can't
Most
even
of
tell
them are
when there's a
dead.
prize.
yeah.
Turn.
All right.
Take over the ship.
The pirates that are pushing towards the elf ship, what is their number within a 20-foot range of each other?
You see
Are there,
that
like-
there are 6 of them that are within a 20-foot
Mm-hmm.
range, are actively pushing gangplank, and then you see
Alright.
that there are a handful further down and another handful, and they are actively trying to get a gangplank over. The elves on the other side have poles that they're pushing them with, and are in an active conflict with them, preventing them from successfully getting the other 2 gangplank.
And the ninja guys up top,
There
I
are
feel like
4.
they're probably a little tougher. Can I tell which of them look more mook-like? I feel I'm just gonna go with the ninjas are tougher. That's what I think.
Yeah, they do all. They actually look identical to each other.
Okay.
They're all wearing this weird kind of
Yeah, it's the uniform makes me think they're
shroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got
Okay,
weird textures under it.
I'm gonna go with the gangplank ones. How far away are they?
From you, right now, you guys are still circling, but you're kind of
Okay, so we're maintaining
coming down.
that about 100.
You're about 100.
Okay. So sleep has a range of 90. I can extend the range. Do I need to extend it?
I'll say that it is just like you're holding,
I could, like,
you're
lean
waiting,
in.
and like you suddenly get a lock and realize you're close enough to use it. Yeah.
You're just reaching your arms out really far, hoping.
Then I'm gonna pop up, and just reach my arm, stretch it out as far as I can. My arm lights up, and I tell them it's nap time.
Hey, what is
And
your
I'm gonna-
armor class? What's your armor class?
My AC is 9.
9? Okay.
Yep.
You see 2 arrows come flying up at you the moment you lean out.
Reactions.
First one is going to hit you unless you do something with a reaction.
Shield.
Okay. So it missed.
I say,
And your
so the
AC
shield gives me
continue-
plus 5 AC. So it goes
and
to
that gives you
14.
an AC of 14 total. In that case,
Yep.
it stops the first one, and another one deflects off of it as well. So congratulations, you protect yourself. A mini barrage of arrows. You see that 2 more go flying wild, but 2 of them your shield protects you from. Now, what are you
Okay, so
in terms of a spell effect?
nothing crazy happens. So I'm gonna cast sleep at 2nd level on the guys that are on the gangplank.
Okay.
In the hopes that the elves will be able to overtake them if they're asleep.
Yeah, very good. So how many hit point worth of
Let's see. So I'm going to upcast that to second level.
Let's sleep.
And that will give me 5, 6, 78. Which there's my d8s. Okay, that was not good. 9, 10, 11, 12 plus. I only have 4 of these.
Jacob, do you mind muting while you're not playing? You got some ambient noise going.
22 hit points.
Okay.
So generally starting with the lowest hit point guy and working up until 22 hit points are expended.
So you see that there's a guy who had kind of gotten up and stumbled over out of the wreckage of the fireball area. So like he's half burned, but he's trying to contribute by. You see him and the next guy both fall asleep and go tumbling off the plank, off the side of the ship, down into the trees.
2 down.
Excellent. You see, and then what else do you do with the rest of your turn?
I'm going to retreat again and try to stay out of range and marvel at the fire. I was like,
nice.
Dang, that fire really took off.
So we see the before set fire to a small corner of the sail, and as soon as that happened, there were a couple of soldiers that went running, kind of water, put this sail out with. But between the chaos of the fireball and battle and everything, they have not been able. This, and so now the fire is spreading, and we see 2 of the ninjas the ropes just to get away from the floor. See these guys move with just really kind of creepy and as they go flying off the backside of the ship, swinging around up and under. And you see them land on the side of the underside of the hull of the Yamaguchi, and they're beginning to crawl like spiders.
Oh, man.
The pirates on the gangplank give a mighty and a heave. Nice. And you see the elves actually manage to has a giant, looks like a giant medicine ball, a giant leather ball on the end of a long staff, and you see 2 of them together kind of take this staff and go swinging it, and that ball hits the guy who actually has the big wedge him off as well. So it looks like there's just a couple of guys standing in the middle of the plank, and they're now pulling out weapons to try to fight the Enion, it is your turn. Unless, Jim, there's anything else. No, you're already done. Enion, it is your turn.
I retreated.
What is available for me to shoot with my arrows?
There are 2 ninjas that are still up in the rigging of the Red Tarok, and 2 ninjas that are down crawling on the underside of the Yamaguchi. There are also
Yamaguchi above us.
Down below you. It looks like those.
I'm not sure I could hit them. Then.
Yeah, they would have half cover. You'd be at disadvantage to hit them.
Well, I'll shoot the ones above me.
Okay.
Can I still see the captain?
The captain is Pone dropped down on top of the captain, his chest cavity area, and then triple punched the captain's bodyguard.
Nice. Are there any other big targets like that, or just these ninjas?
Those two ninjas up top seem to be targets. All the other pirates seem to be.
Okay. Are any of my friends anywhere that I can see or hear close to any non-common?
Pone, you see, is being advanced upon by a half dozen pirates that are all about to begin attacking him. So if you wanted to try to mitigate that situation.
Okay. Does Pone have a... Yeah, he has a reaction left. I will use a Commander's Strike! You may now attack using your reaction. And you get...
Actually,
Reaction on like
Yeah.
the falling thing.
Falling.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this is a new
Negate falling
round.
damage. Oh, it's a new
That's
round.
next round.
you're,
Yeah.
the reaction
Fair enough.
that only renews once he goes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I won't use that on him. Then I will just shoot at one of the ninjas
Okay.
with 6 extra damage. Does 20 hit?
Yes, it does hit.
Okay, and then add 6 and 8 and 4. Nice. I am nailing on the 4 D4s. And then 6, 8, 4 is the damage. So what is that? It's 18.
So this one that you just shot had
No,
been damaged
more than
before,
that.
and
Yeah,
you
8.
see him fall from the top of the rigging. You see his body bounce off the edge of the ship, and his corpse falls down into the trees. There is one more here in the rigging.
Gotcha. That's all I do on my turn.
Okay, very Crocular. 1 ninja up in the rigging, 6 pirates advancing on your friend Pone, and another dozen trying to get onto the deck.
These 6 pirates. They're pretty far away from me.
They're about 90 feet from
Right?
you. About 90 feet-ish.
And the ninja who's up on the on the rigging, that ninja is how far from me?
He's really probably only about maybe 60 feet. Maybe 50, 60.
Can I okay, so I have 30 feet of movement. For me to stand up and walk because I threw myself prone, I would have 15 feet of movement. Is there any way for me to move 15 feet and be within 30 feet of the ninja up on the rigging?
No.
That's
Because
fine.
he's more than 30 feet from the ship itself.
Right. Okay. In that case, I think that I have to Eldritch Blast. I don't think that I have anything else that's going to work here. So, yeah. So I'm gonna ping the I'm gonna ping this ninja, and that is going to be only a 9 to hit.
Yeah, you see that the ninja turns his blade, and you and your arcane shot.
Cool. So that's me like standing up, getting in position, shooting, and then like getting back into cover with the rest of my movement.
Okay. Pone, it is your turn. You have 6 Oh, you know what? Did I? Yeah, I think those 6 pirates were all that last round to kind of strategize with each other and work up their nerve to all attack. Murdered their captain and one of the toughest men on the ship in one round. So, Pone, it is your turn. You have 6 men in an arc around you to advance on you in a tighter and tighter weapons brandish.
Right. I will brandish my weapons and attack. I'll just walk up to go to the closest one and start ripping and tearing. So, yeah. First attack is 20, not natural.
That hits.
Does. And, wow. Damage.
You see that
Death's door.
you punch it.
And
Attack him again.
staggers.
Do it.
11.
That hits. This guy is not.
Oh, nice.
He's in his
There's
skivvies. He's got 11 H.
11 AC, and you hit him for 11. Don't roll a 1. It's yours.
6 damage.
Yep. You
Drop him like
a sack of
potatoes.
Man, for a monk, you are a very violent.
Yep. Well, I'm also.
Do you have any more?
And yeah, I will spend a key point to make 2 more attacks. The guy next to him, or whoever's closest to me now.
Yep. There's right next to him.
Now you've kind of moved over. You've got one guy in particular next to you.
Natural 20.
That hits.
So it does. So damage dice. Should I just roll like twice or
Damage die. Roll your
damage die twice.
And don't add anything else to it.
Oh, okay. Apparently D&D Beyond does that automatically, so that's good. 13 damage.
You drop this guy. Are not the frontline fighters. These are the deck.
Murder 2 guys, 4 guys in 2 rounds.
You drop them.
I have one more attack actually, so
Oh my.
Okay. Well, you can attack somebody else.
23.
Next
Oh, God.
turn. That hits.
20. All right. Ooh, 9 damage.
Okay. Yep.
Flurry.
Of Kung Fu Carnage. Guys,
And you see that
there are now 3 men who are unharmed and 1 guy who clearly has broken off arm. The elf charging across the gangplank
Wait,
that is
his off arm
established.
is broken, or his arm is broken off?
His off arm is broken. Yeah.
Okay.
ability you can unlock. You can punch people's arms off.
The elves charging across the gang, and the men at the have knocked over, like as a group, they have collectively bull rushed across the gangplank. They've just knocked one guy off the side, but you see that a number of them are now charging straight at you. And you look like a pirate. You look like the kind of dude that these elves need to. And so you see these lances, these elven lances pointed at you, and they are charging at you. When out of nowhere, it's still up in the rigging, goes swinging down and home and yanks you out of the way. You are now flying through the air in the arm ninja, and you kind of cry out and feel like you're being stabbed by something spiky underneath the ninja garments. We're gonna owe all of our profits to Sarah McLachlan now. What have you done?
It's a legal parody.
For just 45 cents a day, you can save these tieflings. So Pone goes flying around the backside of the ship. They disappear together as the rigging wraps around the backside of the ship. You see the rope burn and snap, and Pone, the ninja, disappear on the backside of the ship. Ivan,
So
it is
should
your
I-
turn. What's that?
Are there any pirates left?
Yes, there are. There are a dozen pirates that are actively trying down gangplanks. And you see that the elves have now locked with the four guys left who are about to pone. And you look up and you see that there are about a dozen pirates that are trying to put down 2 remaining gangplanks to get across Gucci. So that dozen pirates up ahead in a cluster, 6 and 6. Those are your 2 kind of densest pockets of enemies available.
Okay. And so the 2 ships are head to head.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like on a side near the front, trying to put gangplanks onto the Yamaguchi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the ships have pretty front faces,
So that's why it's only 3. You know, if the ships were side to side,
there'd be like a dozen gangplank points. But here you see there
sure,
one and
one to the left.
These
are the 3 points where they're trying to
get onto each other.
Okay, and I'm just trying to imagine this, and the Navy just came down one of those 3.
Yes, so the Navy
have poured over onto the pirate ship, and the pirates are
come around behind them
onto the Yamaguchi.
Okay. I am going to rush up to one of those groups and let's see, are their backs turned to me? I just yell.
To the side.
So oh, they're to the side, so they'll see me approaching. Anyway,
I'm gonna kind of behind and to the side.
Yep.
Okay. Ivan's gonna come in hot. He has this ability, because he's a great weapon master, to take -5 to an attack for +10 damage if he hits.
Do it.
So,
reckless attack.
Really angry, he's gonna come up and go hot on the biggest looking guy. All right, 18. That was a good one.
That hits.
Okay. And then he does... Oh, max damage. Wow.
Oh,
okay.
No.
27 damage.
Slice
through the guy's
midsection, and just like at the ribs, you just go through completely, and
and his top half falls apart from his bottom half.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's
Okay.
why they didn't give him a knife.
And he has
back to the
this-
asylum.
Where is it? He has this rate. Okay, and then he's gonna do a frenzied attack on another. He's gonna use his bonus action to do a frenzied attack on the guy next to him.
Oh.
Ooh, and he gets a 11 on that one.
This guy is not wearing
armor. He is a bare-chested, pants-wearing, cutlass-wielding deckhand.
Does he have earrings?
He does. He has gold hoop earrings.
Okay.
Ivan's now.
12 damage for that one.
Grievously wounded. Yeah, your axe goes lodging into his side, and you chop off his left arm at the elbow. He's still got a cutlass in his right hand that he's to fend you off with, but you chop his arm off, and he looks down and yells and starts brandishing his weapon at you. Anything else that you can do with your turn?
No.
Okay. He counter swings this cutlass,
shouting,
knowing that if he doesn't kill you, you're most likely going to do that to him. He rolls a 20.
He brings
That
this
is a
cutlass. That is a hit. He brings this cutlass down 12 damage and swings it again
Ooh.
at you. As a 10 hit you.
Okay, let me just reorient. What does
Yeah, you're gonna take half.
resistance mean?
You take
Oh, gotcha.
in half.
Yeah.
So I
You take
take
half
the
as
damage
much.
and take it. Okay. Sorry, does a what? A 12? No, my AC is 14.
There you go. You're good. So he
Okay, so he hit
stabs,
me once.
and you can see he's so proud.
He really thinks that this blow would have
Killed most of the normal deckhands on this ship, and he stabs you
and sees that it
just kind of cuts down into your flesh, but like an inch
eyes grow
wide, and
he's flustered.
he just kind of swings it at you like a baseball bat. It slaps the broadside against, he just bounces off of your tough skin. You see that he is the remaining sailors see the state of things. Pirates on both sides
managed to drop
both gangplanks and begin charging across them. You see that the elves managed to stabs and kind of down and try to hold up their shoulder and hold the fort, so to speak. But both gangplanks are loaded pirates who are about to spill onto the Yamaguchi. Pone, things happen off camera that you and I will have to discuss, but the ninja that you, so to speak, and took you a
scene happens between
you and that character. You and I may have to actually record that player characters are not around. But indeed, for the remainder of the night, you are, something's going on with you.
So, all right.
You can stick. Do you want to stick around and hang with us, or are you going to take off?
I think I'm gonna head out. It's been great playing with you guys. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
there's a place
real.
yeah.
anytime. So let us know if you're ready to come back and rejoin us.
All right.
Thank
See
you.
later.
See ya.
See you, man.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm only keeping track of 27 NPCs here. So, very good.
Should,
yes.
Fix that number.
Oh, that number is getting lower and lower every round. You guys are very good at what. Who's the last player character that just went?
I just did.
Ivan. That's right.
Okay,
That's
right.
I
got it.
I got it. Okay. We see two of these ninjas on the side of the Yamaguchi, and one of them disappears below decks, down below decks, and another one rushes over to try to pinch some of the flank, some of the back, the pirates. We see him stab the back of one of the elven soldiers, and he falls silently and instantly under the ninja's blade. Jim, it is your turn.
Okay. So if I pop my head up, then I would see Ninja Dude, dead elf on one of the gangplanks.
That's right. So on one of the gangplanks, it's empty because the
they got
have
through.
already rushed across, or the elves have already rushed across
So,
onto the pirate ship, and then the other two are loaded up with pirates, and they are head to head pushing back some elven naval officers.
I'm kind of looking to see if I have incoming fire. What range do I have to the closest enemy?
About 50, 60 feet to the ninja that flanking some naval sailors, some elven sailors, and the pirates.
All right.
Or they're on the gangplank.
I am going to make a suggestion. I'm going to shout down to that ninja by extending the reach of my suggestion spell that it's hopeless and he should surrender and convince his companions also to surrender.
Okay. Make a
Wisdom saving throw?
Yep. And that's going to be DC 15. And I might do something else with it. Let's see.
He fails.
Okay, I can't affect his. Oh, nice.
He fails
Let
pretty
me
hard.
Make sure I didn't explode the magic on myself. Oh, good, I didn't. No, sir. Awesome. So he thinks it's hopeless, and he should be trying to convince his companions to give up. Or at least that's what I shouted out. It's hopeless. Give up. Convince your companions to surrender.
You
I
hear...
don't know if that counts as... Is that two things?
Sure. Buddy, tell me the languages that your character...
Common
Besides
and Elvish.
Common and Elvish.
Elvish.
Okay.
Because I'm an
Common,
elf.
Elvish, giant, gnomish. Got all my bases covered.
Giant.
Excellent. So in a language that you don't recognize, you see call orders, call out something desperate, and turn and sprint and jump off the side of the ship. You see that disappears the trees. And with that, you see that two of the sailors, two of the pirates that heard him say that, you see them throw down their weapons and dash off and disappear the pirate ship. Which is by fire is spreading and growing. So now the entire main sail of the on fire. And you see that it's about to work its way down to the decks. The are now being attacked by party warriors with weapons and lances and training who know how to move together in formation on ship. And these elven naval officers are beginning to wreak havoc on the parties that are trying to the gangplanks. And you see that whatever advantage the pirates may have had from superior numbers at the beginning of the fight is just long gone. And training are now beginning to clearly move the tide of the fight. Enion, it is your turn.
Okay. I want somebody to shoot that looks shootable. Or maybe unshootable.
You see that there are a few random elves, a few random pirates that are not actively being engaged by
guys
that are trying to like rush over to a deck weapon and put it up. You see that
Is anybody near Jim
large
or attacking Jim?
Well, Jim is up on the dancing narwhal.
I don't know.
Yeah, Jim is on the dancing narwhal. Ivan is down on the
Yes, I
deck,
am up
and
on the-
he
on the
is
narwhal.
engaged with a half dozen pirates himself.
So I picked the biggest one that's near Ivan.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to do my... Ivan, do you still have your reaction?
He should, yeah.
Yes, I use my action and my bonus action.
I will do a Commander's Strike, which costs my action, one of my attacks, which is my action, and my bonus action. I say, Ivan, hit that guy. Hit him real hard.
I will obey right away, all the way, cheerfully.
And it excites you so much that you get 3 extra damage on your attack.
Wow.
Excellent.
So I roll an attack?
Yeah, as your reaction for this last round, I guess.
Nice.
I get an 11.
Plus 3.
To hit?
Oh, wait, no, not to hit. Sorry, 3 damage.
An 11 hits this guy. He is a bare-chested sailor. You guys are a lot of 11s, and a lot of these guys have had 11 hit points. This has been a very good fight for you. You have not done much missing.
Okay. So I get plus 3 damage?
Yeah.
So 17 damage.
Yeah, there are now 4 pirates around Ivan. You see 3 dead bodies and 4 more pirates.
Good job, Ivan.
I love it when Anian tells me what to do.
Yeah. Crocula.
As long as it's not stupid.
So, how far are these pirates from me now? Are the ships coming closer round by round?
They're now about 30, 40 feet away from you.
Okay, so this is going to enable some of my real spells. Can I get within 30 feet of any of them without leaving my own ship?
I'll say you can, yes.
Okay, and also only moving 15 feet?
Yeah. The ships are coming. The dancing narwhal is making a, and it's coming down in and next to both ships. You can, during your turn, the ships get about 30 feet apart from each other from where you are. Yeah. Because it's a very close run. The dancing narwhal is about to. The bosun, BS, a couple of the other bigger soldiers on the ship. Most of the guys have been arrows and shooting harpoons down. You see that the crew of the dancing narwhal has taken out another dozen or so of these pirates at random different places throughout the ship. I'm kind of narrating the parts of the ship where there are guys. But there's been other larger battle happening. There are arrows, volleys of arrows being exchanged between the ships, other soldiers fighting.
Okay. Do I see? So the last turn, I looked around and there was a ninja who was hanging out on some rigging. That was a fairly precarious position. Do I see any other pirates that are in any kind of precarious position near the edge of their ship or on rigging or on ropes or on a gangplank or anything like that?
So you see that there are a couple of pirates that they were up in the rigging trying to put the fire out, and the flames have surrounded them, and they're now at the outer of non-flammable rigging but the flames are probably going to take them out. You see that there are a couple of pirates that have climbed up to the top of kind of the cabin part of their ship and are trying to fire down from there and throw javelins and stuff. So you see that there are 2 pirates that are trying to, from above do ranged attacks.
Okay. So the ones that are throwing javelins, are they within 5 feet of, the abyss?
No, middle of the ship. They're not on the edge. So you
I'm
want
looking
guys
for
on the
people-
edge.
I'm looking for
Yes.
people who are in a precarious position within 5 feet of the edge of their ship.
Yes, there are that
Edge of the ship.
trying to lean out over the side and fire arrows.
Perfect.
Along the length.
I run up pretty close to that, within 30 feet of that, and they are whichever one of them looks the strongest is going to have to make a DC 14 strength saving throw.
He miserably failed.
Okay.
What is it?
So, I'm not gonna. No, I am. It doesn't look like anything. It looks like an invisible force just gives him a shove from behind, right off the edge and into empty space.
I think we see a big rainbow-colored handprint appears on his chest, backwards, and we see him.
I mean, it could look like that.
Sure,
but I have the ability to make it invisible.
Fair enough.
Roll me an Arcana check, and if you get above a 5, you can make it invisible. And if it's below,
no, I mean,
a 5,
like
I get to
that's
have a rainbow.
Feat. It's a feat I took. I took that as a feat.
Then it's invisible, and you shouldn't roll. Then it's invisible,
Okay.
and you should not roll.
I mean, if you tell me roll, I'll do it.
No. An invisible hand shoves this guy off the edge, and he goes flying. You see him go straight out before he be. What's that?
The free market. No.
That's so great.
The elven soldiers come across the gangplanks within a matter of seconds. Like
with the narration, we kind of
go out of combat order. You guys are croculars firing cantrips, this arcane gun, swinging this axe around in giant arcs. Enion is just you alone could handily
the pirates, but
you see Nothic appear from below decks of the Yamaguchi and comes running and comes face to face with a number of the soldiers, and you see him take the throats of 2 soldiers, and you see he's got some object in his hand. He shoves down into some sort of pouch and he sprints to run, dive off the edge of the ship. We come back into turn order. It is your turn.
What the heck was that?
Sorry.
Though, right?
I totally screwed up. Hang on.
Okay.
A giant Nothic eye. You see a Nothic, and he is covered in the purple robes of the ninjas. You see that one of these, and you see that his
a clue
or whatever that was covering his head before is torn and it has been torn back. Has uncovered his head. It pop out from below decks in the purple ninja garb, slit the throats of 2 of the deck guys, and turns to try to sprint. Obviously, he's going to get away. He has some object that he's retrieved from below decks that he has shoved into a pouch at the side of his hip. Jim, it is your turn.
I can still see that guy?
Still see him.
Man, maybe we're just going to save this guy for later. So Jim has the suspicion that anybody he disappears is going to be met with later. So I'm going to unholster
Perfect test case.
Unholster my gun and disappear that guy with the spyglass.
Excellent. Make me a attack roll. Make me a arcane attack, a ranged spell attack. Ranged spell attack.
Oh, is it so before I think it was a saving. Is it a wait? I lost where it was.
You're
Right now, you've got this.
Oh, that's right. You're trying to hit
Yeah.
with the weapon. That's
So
right. That's right.
banish
That's
him.
right.
I'm trying to banish
With
him.
yeah.
Help
so
him
you
escape.
So you are okay. So you are looking through the spyglass, and you are
Mhm.
trying to use without firing the gun. Right. Okay.
Right.
Make me an Arcana check.
Okay. Arcana. There it is. 8. Ugh. Wait, before you tell me anything, I'm going to
Yeah.
re-roll it.
Okay.
I'm just going to decide that instead
Use your luck.
I will do something else. Yep, luck point. See if I can do something better because I want one of the. There we go. 23.
Excellent.
Lucky.
So yeah. So
3.
you realize, like, in your head, I get it. In your mind now have the sense of how to either fire your gun or use this thing. You won't have to make this
Okay.
And in the future, you can use
either one, but you had to get above a 20 at some point
Got
to
it.
permanently learn what you have.
Awesome.
Very good. So you get
This gothic eye that fills up the center of your monocle at this
I don't like
this.
gothic.
What was the difficulty?
Where is it? The spyglass. DC 15. It doesn't say what kind. It just says DC 15.
Interesting. I believe that the check. He fails by 1 because he made the roll, but he has a -1 to charisma.
Sucker.
Wow, that
It's
is
fan-friggin-tastic. You see this Nothic
I put the MacGuffin in a hole.
from this plane of reality, and while you're looking down the tube, make me one more Arcana check to see if you open
10.
10. Yeah. You again.
actual. Like you realize that your body is kind of
Flinching when it goes off, so your eyes are closed. But yeah, you guys see him
into this thing.
and he disappears in some
Magic item.
Dwight, you said that you needed to have a hard cutoff time of 9 o'clock, so you're going to take off?
Yeah, I'll shoot somebody
Okay.
though before I leave.
Okay, yeah.
So the Nothic
Go for it.
gone.
That Nothic that was
You
were aiming at him, and you just see him suddenly disappear, and in a split second, in a flash. Make me a perception check. Not everybody. Crocular and Enium
Aha!
can
make me a perception check for this.
Natural 20 plus 3.
Okay.
Let's see. Perception is not super great. Only an 8.
Enion,
a clear
split image of this Nothic getting pulled apart by bit into a
thin line.
that terminates in the eyeglass, in the spyglass. Jim is pointed at this thing. So you see
Just a tenth of a second, a clear image of
this thing getting sucked into the spyglass.
And I think actually right there at that moment,
at that image of Jim slurping this Nothic up, do the spyglass. Our little 10-minute break. So we will be back in actually,
Can I not shoot somebody?
I hate to do this. This is actually a perfect stopping point for the night. We've only done 2, but this is probably the place where we should probably stop, because I do want Inion to be part of the story. So no, you know what? Actually, that's not true. There is more stuff that we can do that you guys time to be able to do what you want to do, and I know how we can make that work. Never mind. Okay, sorry. Verbal processor here. I have to say everything out loud. I know what is real. Very good. So I will see you guys in 10 minutes. Everybody, thanks for joining us for the Starfall Collective Jade Odyssey episode 11, part 1. We'll see you at part 2 in 10 minutes.
Thanks, Josh.
Bye.
right.
Re-unmute.
What's up?
Watch Matt throw a hissy fit because I'm playing with his toys. I'm playing with nothing. Like,
Ooh.
get your hands off of my Nothics.
I think Nothics in particular are a very flexible monster. I think like any kind of dark entity could turn a Nothic to its will. I think Nothics are just like anything that's vaguely magical or fey and bad can just like call up a bunch of Nothics to do stuff for it.
What are they from?
Nothics?
Yeah, what sort of like the Venn diagram of D&D creatures.
Oh,
So
I don't really
in
know
our,
anything
I don't
about
know
them.
where they're from. Oh, but
well, I was going to say in the Starfall Collective, they have historically been agents of Karen. That's
Ah,
oh well,
and
they were agents of Chernobog in my season.
Oh, sorry, I was misread. Yeah, Chernobog. Yeah, but they were agents of a dark god in the past. Yeah.
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 I think their story is the flavor text history for them is that they're like zombie mages who are like pathetic instead of being awesome like liches. They've sort of been preserved into immortality by their lust for magical power. But instead of being a lich and doing a good job of it and actually getting immortality with their faculties intact, these have gone into like the
they've
into
gone feral,
their
sort of.
post life as they're sort of they're psychic, they can read your mind, but they're driven by dark desire for power.
Yeah.
So I think it's very easy. So they're not mages anymore. They can't they don't have access to the spell list that they had 1,000 years ago when they were alive. But I think that it's very easy for actually powerful magical entities like gods or if there was a lich or something like that to like bend them to its will, because they're not smart anymore. They're not like they're almost zombies, but they have anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're still clever. They're still capable of following complex orders and all that kind of stuff.
They're still clever.
Yeah.
But they're not like their own people anymore.
Yeah.
They're driven by lust for magical power. Something like that.
Which
maybe
of
these
course
liches are different.
Like kind of Smeagol-y.
Makes them great candidates for being servants of evil, right?
Right. But I mean, Josh, you could be doing something else with these. We don't, we're free to customize these.
Oh, don't worry.
monsters.
I'm already doing what I'm doing. It's already in play.
I love it.
It's in play. Excellent. You guys ready?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Sorry, I wore myself that horse recording audio assets for the next last night. So, okay, little horse. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 2 of episode 11, Odyssey of the Starfall Collective. That's where you are in the grand storyverse. Yes, my friend, the scene before us of victory, but for a moment. Now we have a moderate problem. to become a critical problem. Namely, the Yamaguchi is currently structured Butsukaru, as they say in Japan, with the Red Terok ship, which is conflagration. Matter of moments, the winds that we are experiencing at this altitude are to carry the flames across the Red Terok, and it is going to become full. And unless you guys can separate the Red Terok from the Yamaguchi stands to go flames along with it. So we see a number of elven soldiers grabbing pikes and oars and things like that, trying to jam them between the two ships and pry them apart. What do you, the players, do, if anything, to contribute to the successful decoupling of these ships? As Gwyn would say, conscious decoupling of these two ships. Sorry. Goopy. Say conscious decoupling.
Well, if we've killed all the pirates, Ivan would just be in a rage, killing pirates until there's not pirates, and then he would calm down. Do we get to that point?
Yeah. So you you have finished off the last pirates that are willing to fight. You see that pretty soon after this moment where the Nothic gets zotted out of sight, Ivan strikes 2 or 3 guys standing next to him, and the remaining pirates just turn and jump off the ship rather than be killed or taken alive. And the elves on she immediately begin signaling to the dancing narwhal, saying, try to get rid of Red Terok and try to pull that way. We'll put our engines in first, and we'll try to pull the. So you see that 2 ships are currently trying to. Measures that will take a couple of rounds to get in place before they start trying to pull apart the ship. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna try to get on one of those harpoon guns and see if I can stick a harpoon in the.
Excellent, very good.
Ship.
Jim, you run harpoon the side of the pirate ship to try to. And Captain Graham immediately commends your creativity and shouts for the other men to also jump on the harpoon guns, just to try to create more points of tension, more lengths of rope between the ships. Crocular, do you have any? Or Ivan, go ahead.
Ivan, if he sees Jim harpooning, he'll back off from. He probably at first started running over to see if he could catch a rope and tie it on, but if he sees the harpooning, he'll just run back to the front of the ship. And if the elves welcome him on their side, just join in, trying to push them apart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it helps to have a beefy barbarian in the middle of any physical contest. So we see Ivan put his feet on one ship and his hands on the other. Mighty roar, we see that the wood is splintering and cracking and crunching beneath your hands and feet, and you are pushing apart. Make me a check with advantage.
Okay. Oh, with advantage. First one was the best. That's 70. 22.
Yeah, baby. It was going to take a 20 to make a dent. But even before ships fully get in tension to try to peel apart, the ships begin pushing apart, and the tusks that were embedded into the other ship, you see the ship begin sliding off along by like an entire foot. And you see a number of the elven sailors around you kind of gasp in shock. One dude starts pushing these 2 ships apart.
I think
With-
that.
Go ahead, Crocular. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I think that Crocular is using my especially strong mage hand, which is strong enough to push people and pick things up. I think that Crocular is going to go over to any things that are on fire that are continuing to threaten the Navy ship or our own ship, and going to grab those things with mage hand and push them away. Just play defense,
blasting
like
them.
Tennis player,
Yeah.
just like with the mage hand, swatting, burning things that are about to hit the deck out into the air. Bap, bap, bap. That's sort of
make me an Arcana.
8. Crocular is not actually good at Arcana at all.
That's okay. Effectively, hold the line. Like for a 5,
I'm a warlock here. I don't know what I'm doing.
No. You successfully hold it back and maintain a perimeter. You see that one of the masts that's on fire begins creaking and falling towards where Ivan is, and you can see fall on all the men, and you just blast it off to the side. You see that there are a number of barrels that look they're full of like oil or something like that, and you blast those barrels off the edge of the ship, and you see this giant that cascades outwards away from the two ships. There's a number of small look like they're on fire, that if those catch, they're just going to spread everything even more quickly. So you're basically going through and doing the equivalent of a control burn. You're like preemptively blasting out of the way piles of loose flammable things. So even though the ship is still on fire, effectively halted the spread for this round while they're working.
Nice.
Excuse me. Yeah, so between Ivan, you just Ivan continuously just his muscles are bulging. The ships, all the lines between the harpoons and the red Tarok get, and you feel this kind of lurch as the ships, and you hear this almighty awful creaking, groaning, screeching as to pull out, and you see Ivan at the last minute kind of has to push himself off. You see that he's left holding on the front of this burning ship. He kind of pulls himself and turns around, and just standing long jump goes flying over the widening abyss and lands on his feet back on the Yamaguchi. Excuse me. One or two pirates from the below decks. They were clearly hiding, but now they know that they've heard this creaking, and they can smell this smell of fire, and you see that smoke is beginning to come up from below deck. A handful of pirates come out and throw themselves off. You see that some of them are waiting until they get a little bit closer to the trees. They kind of throw themselves off. And you see the red Taroks slowly descend, melting and crashing into the canopy of the trees, which at this point you see that tree, that section, catches fire, and the canopy of the forest erupts in flames, and you realize that a forest has begun. Excuse me. Very good. So, excuse me. The Yamaguchi comes up to you, Ivan, and you see that it is this white-haired elf who clearly is like 700 years old. I mean, like, elves in this world really only live to like maybe 600, 700, 800 years. This guy is on the verge of forced retirement. But you see that he comes up to you and gives you a crisp elven salute and says, "I thank you for rendering heroic service to the Empire and to the lives of my men. You have my gratitude." And he gives you a bow. A bunch of the sailors on the Yamaguchi come around you, kind of hoist you up on their shoulders, and they start just clapping and cheering. Jokes about, "Oh, we didn't know we were going to have a Goliath on our side. Yeah." Sorry, my voice is cracking in the weirdest ways. But they're all super grateful for the effort you made to push these two ships apart. Captain Graham comes and brings the dancing narwhal alongside so that the two ships kind of just begin to pass each other, and the two ships come alongside each other. You see them kind of, and Captain Graham comes over. He disappears with the captain of the Yamaguchi, and they have a captain-to-captain meeting. Everybody else on the dancing narwhal and the crew of the Yamaguchi, they just survived. So a lot of the soldiers express gratitude to the crew of the dancing narwhal. You see that folks off doing a little bit of trade. You don't know if this is all completely above books. The superior officers are mostly busy dealing with post-war see a bunch of the soldiers and a bunch of the begin to each other, trading items, swapping stories, and everybody's just kind of mingling for a few minutes. The logistics of the engagement. Do you guys want to talk to anybody or do anything? A lot of stuff just happened. The camera is on you. What do Jim Procular do? We see Enion disappears. He recovers a couple of his arrows and
Nobody left to shoot.
Orders. What's that?
Nobody left to shoot.
Right.
I am looking for Poen. I didn't see the part where he got disappeared by the ninja.
Yeah.
Where's Poen?
I believe Crocular is left, who had a decent view of what happened. So Crocular, do you Jim the events of Poen being by this purple ninja and taken out of sight?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I'll be like, "Hey guys, Poen got grabbed up by one of those ninjas and they vanished over that direction."
No.
I don't know if we want to do something about that.
Shoot. What can we? I got one of them trapped in this thing, and I'm kind of tapping the spyglass. Maybe we can figure out how to get him out and ask him where Poen went. But how would we even find him? And I'm kind of looking out into the canopy to see if I can see, some clue about what happened to him.
Yeah, so you are looking down the canopy and you see a spider whose body looks to be about the size of a Hayabusa motorcycle, skittering through the canopy of the trees.
Josh, you're the only one who knows how big that is.
It's a motorcycle.
Okay. You see a approximately 500-pound spider moving around, a giant 8-foot long spider from nose to butt, skittering through the treetops. And down below, you hear the distant sounds coming from a couple of different areas, a couple of 100 feet away from the space where you were. The ships are drifting a little bit, but you're pretty close to where the fight's been going. You hear the sounds of screaming. Are being hunted and eaten quickly. The flora down in the forest below.
Oh man.
You realize immediately the idea that you're gonna go on a ground mission to go after them. Again, I am not going to tell you what character truly is that brave they can, but you're of the pirates that have been jumping into the canopy and jumping off and landing down below, you can hear them being hunted and eaten pretty quickly to the forest.
Well, if anybody could survive, maybe Poland could. And he's got that thing with him. I don't know if I don't know what the heck's going on.
That's true, says Veda. He scary, scary, scary fellow.
Let's see.
Maybe Don.
Well, Crocular is not going
She
to.
says.
Yeah, I guess he's a pretty powerful magic user, so yeah. Maybe we'll just continue on and hope we can find out how to catch him later.
Yeah.
Ivan's not in this conversation. He's kind Yeah. Oh, I was just saying, Ivan's not in this conversation. He's kind of a ways off in the mid of the midshipmen, just kind of chatting with them. You know, like, where was your patrol? What were you guys doing? Did the pirates surprise you? And just getting the story.
Yeah, so the sailors of the Yamaguchi explained that they were, doing their route. It is the responsibility of these elven warships to patrol airspace at the edge of the Elven Empire, and even out here, kind of no man's area. The Empire doesn't like leaving large swaths of area unpatrolled. So even though this is not a place of, the ironclad authority, the firm rule of the Elven Empire, they're trying to maintain presence. And so they explained that it's really surprising to see a ship like this so far away from that, where most of the Ether Sea raiders are patrolling around and making strikes and stuff like that. So they said it was very fishy that they would even find us at all, far out that we would come across a ship like that. And they say it was the craziest thing. We're so glad. Those ninjas, can you imagine fighting ninjas and pirates? That's really blows their mind. Nobody can figure out why ninjas and pirates are working together.
I think Crocular, I would like to ask the captain of our ship. BS is his name, I believe.
BS is the
Graham.
Aarakocra that came with you.
So I want to ask.
Graham is the captain.
I want to go to Captain Graham and say, a member of the crew seems to have been kidnapped during the recent action, taken by one of those ninja types. You remember Enian, one of our friends, when we joined the ship? Do you have any ideas where he might be?
Graham is really deeply affected by the news when you say this to him, and he says, "I apologize for this not coming to my attention sooner." Whistle, Mara Skookum comes down, and you see him do a series of whistles and clicks, and you see her immediately kind of look at the crew and scan the crew with her eye. You can see her looking person to person, and then she takes off and flies away. And he says, "She's An intelligent beast, but only a beast. But he has seen Bone's face many times over the life. If she catches a glimpse of him anywhere at all, pick him up and bring him back to us unharmed. I'm afraid that's the very best I can do, though. My side to try to go looking for him down in the forest.
I think that's better than what we've been able to do.
Do you think you will have the good sense
appreciate
to
it.
climb? Do you think you will have the good sense to climb to the top of a tree?
I believe Poen has a fairly average amount of good sense. Nobody in this group actually has any good sense. We
They're
came from a
insane.
mental asylum.
That's fair. You see that he says, I will send Maraskukum out as much as I can have her search between now and when we get to the Arcanium. Eventually, she will have to trail cold if she does not find him, though. I hope you understand. So Graham has sent out Maraskukum, and if she can catch even a glimpse of him anywhere, he says that she will, relentlessly try to pick him up and bring him back. She has many times before and found other crew members who have been separated from the party and were left behind. So this is not unfamiliar to her. And, he has every confidence that if it can be done, she will. The rest of the trip has a pretty significant pall over it. You guys are all kind of dealing with the reality that been through a random ninja just kidnapped Poen and disappeared with him, like right there in the middle of a fight, not far. While you successfully helped defend the Yamaguchi from boarding an incursion, you lost one of your own. A number of the members of the crew to this meals, offer you drinks, offer to take some of your chores off of your hands to give you free. How close you may or may not be to Poen, but they recognize that you've lost. Crocular's like, doesn't really bother me. They're sympathetic to your loss, though. So you guys have another week's worth of travel on your way to the Arcanium. Between now and when you get there, what sorts of downtime activity do you guys engage in? Is there anything in particular you want to try to accomplish to the Arcanium?
I want to try to figure out if I can get things out of the spyglass.
Okay. Make me a Arcana check. 3 of them that kind of represent over the course of several days your concerted effort to study this.
Okay. So let's see. First day, I'm very intensely studying and carefully poking and prodding, and I get a 22 on the Arcana check. The next time I'm investigating it, I get about a 14 level quality. And then 13 for the third one.
Okay. So on the first day, a setting on one of these dials, and when you click it into place, you can feel the energy. You can feel within this magic item 180 degrees, and you get really excited. You feel like you got like the first lock, but then over the course of the next 2 days, you keep coming back to it. You feel like you've kind of lost it because your brain kind of clicks into successful move
go from there.
So unfortunately, you do make progress. You feel like if you can show this thing to Dom, you might be able to kind of show
About it,
and he might be able to help you fill in the rest of the gaps. So maybe when you get to the Arcanium, you feel like you might
some help.
Yeah. If
There's
is anybody else, Ivan, Crocular.
Crocular's painting. More painting. He wants to have a bunch of paintings ready when we get there.
Okay. Ivan?
Ivan spends some time up in the crow's nest, muttering to himself, okay, Dom de la Bromble Boo Brighton Houston, and seeing if that sounds right.
Excellent.
And then
Very
also,
good.
and then also, perhaps to his companions who know him well's slight surprise, occasionally making social forays with some of the sailors and just chatting with them about sailing and stories of their travels, and just very occasionally inserting the thing that he really cares about, which is like, hey, have you ever seen symbols like this? And showing a few people who sound more widely traveled the symbols on his axe.
So one of the men who sees your axe says, I reckon I've seen symbols like that before. I being at a library, studying to be one of the great bards. I saw that had symbols like that on the cover. I don't know the meaning of them, but twas recognizable to me. Yes, indeed. And he gives
The name of the city where his cousin was studying. It was Starfall.
You know, there's a
Starfall.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Very good. At one point, Neri comes hobbling out of the ship. See that he is walking on a little crutch that's been made really big fork, and he's just a little. I'm just kidding. He's shift crutch, but is all splinted up. And he comes over and sits down next to you, Ivan, and you see that he just kind of starts crying, and he is sobbing inconsolably, saying things like, "It's all my fault." What taking that gold? What if I hadn't, maybe master us? And you see that he's just really broken up about Pone having been disappeared from the ship. He's kind of heard the rumor, and he is just devastated at the loss of his friend.
Ivan will look at him and not quite sure what to do.
I think Neri just like fully buries. Yeah, Neri fully buries his face on Ivan's leg and is just like holding on to him, crying and he looks like a little toddler compared to this massive guy. Neri's, barely over 2 feet tall. So he's just a tiny little guy. Ivan, you just kind of let him cry out.
Yeah, and trying to think of, okay, what would Brick say? And maybe after he's explicitly said how he feels. I've been saying something like, "And how does that make you feel?"
Devastated. But congratulate you. Do help Neri get in touch with that grief. He doesn't have it stoppered up. And I think I've been consulting Neri with some of Brick's group therapy techniques. We'll probably pull the camera back. And when next we join, the party shall also be revealed and laid bare by the great wisdom and arcane power. Dash. Join us next week,
not
folks.
have those parts.
Yeah, it's a long name. It's a long name. It's been great having you folks. We're so glad that you're able to join us for part 11. Join us next week for part 12. And when we meet Dom at the take care, folks.
Awesome.